are live. Hello and welcome everybody. My name is Vince Ortiz. I am the manager here at Bowling Pro Shop, Santa Fe Station. We are live with Las Vegas Youth Bowling Tour. To my right, my special guest today is Ms. Sherri White. Welcome, Sherri.
Thank you. Good to be here.
We are about to start our semifinal match, and in this match we have Nicholas Anderson versus Tristan Dalton. And in the varsity, we have Jason Bardol, the second, versus Kelcey Aczon-Kawamura.
That's a mouthful.
Yeah, it is. It is a little bit. That's why we just stick with Kelcey with her, and she's all good.
Right.
So watching this pattern today as they were bowling on Eiffel Tower. And yes, it looks like Eiffel Tower.
Right.
It is oiled 35 feet, buffed out to 48. So it seems like it's actually long, but it really isn't that bad. It's got to be played correctly. If you get the ball outside of 10, forget it. It's not coming back. So basically they had to keep their angles in front of them, and some of them did. And it was kind of tough, but some of them figured it out. So Jason Bardol started off, he was minus 28. Kelcey was actually in the plus. She was plus 11. Mm-hmm. Nicholas Anderson really struggled, but he was minus 168. And he moved on against Tristan, who was minus 119. Now, again, they are working on something that they tried to see. It was kind of tough. Fun fact about Nicholas is he's getting coached by Phil Placco, and he just switched to using a wrist device, and it actually helped him improve quite a bit. It made a big change in him. And speaking of Phil Placco, I am filling in for Phil Placco today as he's golfing out in California right now. I refuse to state what kind of gas prices he's paying. Let's just say it's a little high.
Yeah.
So watching the kids during all the qualifying, I saw a lot of problems with, once again, that magic word, spares. They just could not make them. Now, Sherri, did you get a chance to watch some of the kids bowling during qualifying?
I watched a little bit because I was practicing for the first part of it. But, yeah, it looked like you said, as long as they could keep the ball out in front of them and really play straighter, they had a better chance. But spares is always a big issue. But from what I wasn't here yesterday, but what some of the kids told me, today was a whole lot better day.
Yeah, yesterday was a short pattern, 35, and the problem that we saw yesterday is kids were immediately putting surface on the ball. What are you doing? See what the pattern does first before you go adding that type of surface.
Absolutely. It's on that shorter pattern that you're going to get into the friction a whole lot sooner, and if you got too much surface on your ball, you're in trouble.
Right. So Tristan, being all of 15 years old, two-handed bowler, he's got a high game of 235. His favorite bowler, you guess it, Jason Belmonte.
Right.
And he says that he kind of felt like this pattern was easier for him. It didn't seem like it was that hard. He said it broke down for him and made it even easier, which is rare. Most kids are struggling to find it all the way through. Now, Kelcey, she's been two-handed now for quite a while, and she's college-bound pretty soon here. She's got it down to 2 schools. She's thinking of going to Pikeville or William Penn.
Right. And fun fact about Kelcey, as I've found with a lot of teenage girls, when she's not bowling, her favorite thing to do is sleep.
Yeah. That's typical teenage.
Right? Right.
Nice spare. Now, Jason Bardol, he's left-handed, been doing two-handed now for quite a while. Lives in Boulder City, goes to school in Boulder City, actually. Mm-hmm. He is out there quite a bit. He's a high speed. He's got a good rev rate. He's really improved over some time what his rev rate was, because he was actually struggling quite a bit.
Right.
Trying to get himself matched up.
Yeah, he told me that he's been bowling for about 7 years. First 2 years he was one-handed and then switched to two-handed, and it's worked a lot better for him with control and everything.
Yeah, he's like I said. I've seen him bowl for quite a while, and it definitely is improved to where he's at right now.
Yeah.
He was definitely struggling for a little bit, just couldn't find it, and then something clicked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's the same thing with Nick Anderson here. He's a straighter player, which plays into this pattern really well because he keeps everything in front of him.
Right. Nice spare. Nick also, he's a senior this year and going to be college bound in the fall, and he's looking at going to UNR, he said, to study broadcast journalism. So he might be telling you to scoot over so he can practice a little bit, Vince.
Right, yeah, I got no problem with that. So there really wasn't many lefties here today. They're as usual. Lefties are out there on their own little field of play. They don't have much breakdown. They got to do it themselves. They got to break it down. Oh, got that out.
Okay.
So watching everybody, I pretty much found that you needed to keep this in play right around 17 to 11, something like that. Keep it. Keep it in front of you, and anybody got outside of 10. Yeah, it was time to wave at the ball as it went bye-bye because it was not coming back.
Right. That's what we saw in the seeding rounds right before this game.
Right. And that's part of the problem is a lot of these kids are working on their A game, but they forget their spare game.
Right. But you know what? That's the same with adults, too, Vince.
Absolutely.
We all want to hit the pocket and strike, but in reality, that old saying, spares are for dough and strikes are for show, it's absolutely true.
Yeah. I mean, when you're going to practice with a purpose. Don't worry about score. Practice with a purpose.
Well, you've said this many times. If you're concerned about score, you're not really practicing. You're just bowling.
That's absolutely right. Oh, that was straight, and he kind of hung it out there to dry. And again, it's a speed control as well. You get too fast, it's going to hang. Now, Tristan, he's got pretty good speed control, but you see where he got out there to
just a
9?
Little bit right.
It just hung out there.
They don't have a lot of miss room.
No, and this pattern is set up like that. You got to keep it in front of you. You don't want to go sideways. You know, it's not like league where you can go ahead and feed it right and watch it just hit the rubber band board and come back. This pattern here doesn't have that rubber band board to swing back.
That's one thing I like about this pattern. It's not necessarily a sport shot, but it makes you work and helps you be a better bowler.
Right. And, you know, we got a lot of parents here that are watching the kids, and you hear the oohs and the ahs and the ups and downs, and you hear the, coaching from the back and all that. And it gets a little frustrating for the kids. I totally get it. But at the same time, they should be taking notes. And this is something Phil and I and Coach Dave Allen and Mike Ruiz, we talk about over here on Saturday mornings. Take notes. Pay attention to what you're doing.
Right. And even, a lot of people use those little bowling apps so they can track their spares and percentages and all that. They can even take notes in the app.
Yeah, I personally use PinPal. Yeah.
Right, so if you make a ball change, you can make a note why you made that ball change and what ball you changed from and to.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's helpful.
Nice spare. So looking at the scores right now in junior varsity, we got Tristan up on the right side, 54 in the third working on an open frame. Meanwhile, Nick Anderson on the left lane, 36 in the second working on a spare. See you later. And that look right there you see on Tristan's face, that was a common look today.
Right.
That was a look of turning around and going, what was that?
You know, we all do that
Ooh.
sometimes.
No, yep, that was a pull left.
But you know what? The carry was good, so it could have been
It could
a
have
lot
been.
worse.
Let's see if he rebounds and makes the spare. Now, typically, like I said yesterday, you throw the first ball in the gutter, you will pull the second ball left.
This spare that Nick's got, it's the 1-5. That's
Yeah.
not an easy spare to make either.
No, it's not. The ball has to take out both pins.
Right.
He's got that.
Yeah. Nice
Good
shot.
Nice spare. All right, looking in the varsity division. Kelcey up on the right-hand side, working on a spare. Oh,
She
again.
got that way
there
out
it is,
there.
outside of 10. It's
Yeah.
gone.
Looked like she got that out to maybe the 4 or 5 board.
Yeah, she got it out too far. Jason Bardol up on the left, 38 in a second, working on a spare. Six pin for him. Lefties, you're leaving a 6-pin, you're that close to getting it. Righties, leave a 4-pin, you're that close to getting it.
You know, it was funny. Jason, when I was talking to him, he told me that Rhino Page is his favorite bowler, which surprised me because Rhino's been around for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And you would expect some of those younger, cooler guys
Yeah.
to be his favorite. But he likes Rhino simply because he's a lefty. And the
Yeah.
hardest man he to choose from.
Yeah, exactly. A little break in the action now. Hey, right now it's a good time to talk about our sponsors. Let's bring up Coolwick Bowling. Use code LVYBT10, saves 10% at checkout. And also, let's not forget Storm Bowling. Thank you, Storm, for all you do for us.
Storm is the bowler's company.
Yeah.
All things bowling, you can get it at Storm pretty much.
And there we go again. See, he's not paying attention to the fact that he's out of bounds. Where'd my mic go? There it is.
There it is.
Hey,
Nice spare.
I must not have put enough quarters in the machine. My mic went out for a second
Right,
there.
mine did too.
If you brush the front, it turns it off.
I didn't touch it.
It was Mike Ruiz. He did it.
Yeah, let's play Micro Ruiz. Oh, he stepped it out. He liked that one. Oh, just a touch high. So Sherri, when you're bowling and you see yourself go high, do you have an adjustment you make for that? What do you do?
I do. I move, because I'm a right-hander, I move to the left. And usually, depending on how many boards I go, maybe a 2-in-1, 2 boards with my feet and 1 with my eyes. Or sometimes, if it goes really far, then I might have to move a whole zone.
Right. Yeah, I myself, my first thought is, did I throw that ball bad? Did I throw it too soft? Did I miss a little bit? Then I'll make my adjustments based off my thought process from there, because I try not to move too quick too soon, because it could be simply I threw it too soft.
Well, yeah, that's true, too. For me, a lot of times, I just miss my mark.
Yeah,
And it just wasn't a good shot.
right, and that's the problem where you make an adjustment. If you throw a bad shot and you make the adjustment, now you've missed and you're lost.
Yeah, absolutely. And the tough thing is like now, you got one game.
Right.
And you got to recognize what's going on and make those adjustments quickly, or you're done.
Right. So when you're qualifying or in league, you have a little bit of time to make that adjustment. Here, one game match, you don't. You gotta trust your gut and make that adjustment and trust what you're doing.
Absolutely.
Now watching them, they're making slight adjustments. Nicholas seems to be thinking that he needs to go just a little bit faster, but he's also pulling the ball. So if you watch his left shoulder, he might be throwing it back a little bit, which is pulling him through. Now he stayed there, just kind of pulled that one left, just let it go.
Okay.
Oh, here we go. Where's all the kids?
Could have been a lot worse.
Waiting for the hands to come up for the 5-pin.
Ooh.
That's a big miss. No. I duck and dive. Ooh. I lost control there for a second. Headphones came off and I lost it.
And that time it really was Mike.
Yeah, that was Mike's fault. That's for sure.
All right, nice spare on the 5-pin.
So in our step ladder, the way it started out was we had Nicholas Anderson in JV versus Ezekiel Trejo, and Zeke struggled. So Nicholas moved on with a 170 to a 143 game. And in the varsity, it was Jason Bardol versus Dartanian Longa. We all call him just Dart. Jason shot 201 to Dart's 154. And Dart just could not find it. He was lost.
Right.
And here we go.
There again, way out to the right.
Spares. Now, see that look. And I get it. We have that look all the time in league. You turn around, you throw a shot. Wow, what did I do?
Well, or in tournaments, too, when you're bowling on a pattern. Because, let's face it, we don't bowl on patterns very often.
Right.
And it's easy to get lost.
Very easy. Very easy to trap yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That looked better. Yes.
That's a much better shot.
That was a much better shot. She hadn't seen that yet. Oh, he changed balls, urethane.
Okay.
It's really nice to see how these kids make these small little adjustments trying to figure it out. And, when Phil's here, he likes to impartially, not tries to coach a little bit when and it's just in our nature. We want to tell him, dude, make this left, make this
absolutely
move. We want to do it, but at the same time we don't.
And that's something too, Vince, that a lot of people don't realize when they're bowling and they want to improve.
Mm-hmm.
People are real quick to say, well, let me go buy this ball. Maybe if I have that ball, I can do better. When in reality, they just need to get a lesson.
Yeah.
Because no equipment on the planet will take the place of a lesson.
So here's the thing. You cannot out-bowl bad ball reaction.
Absolutely. Or bad technique.
Technique, same thing. Yeah, that was better. Kept it inside.
Much better.
Much better.
Nice shot.
Now, you notice what I was saying. Inside 11, she's okay.
Right.
Outside of that 10 board, forget it.
That's right. You got to keep it in front of you on this pattern.
Yeah.
And again, that's why I like this pattern, because you have to be accurate. You don't have a lot of miss room.
Right. All right, so far looking like JV's staying pretty close, even though Tristan is struggling trying to make spares. Down in varsity, we got a pretty close match going on here. Jason working 75 on a strike, while Kelcey's got 93 working on a strike as well. So Jason doubles up here. He really brings the match really close. And if I'm not wrong, he's throwing urethane as well. Looks like he's throwing
maybe a pitch black?
Pitch black, maybe. And that's frustrating.
Absolutely.
You throw a ball there and like 20 pins are thrown to the right and 10 pins just sitting there laughing at you.
That is the worst feeling.
Yeah. Softer speed.
Through the
So
nose.
he needs to move his feet 2 boards left, keep his mark in the same spot, and he'll be all right.
Yep.
He's in the wrong zone with his feet. Oh.
Nice shot on the 10 pin. If I could do that every time, I'd be so happy.
So at this point right now, what Nick needs to do is just keep the count, keep it close.
That's what I was going to ask you, Vince, what you would suggest in this situation.
Well, again, I'm watching my ball-shaped ball motion. Right there, there's a good shot. So as you saw, Nick right now, everything's going high. So my move is going to be 2 left with my feet. I'm going to keep my eyes in the same spot and see where we go. If it's still going high, then I'm going to go 1 more left with my eyes.
And when you have that split like that, is it best to go for it or just go for the count?
Go for the count. You don't need to go for that spare unless you're like, I need this to win the game. Then you really want to go for it, because if you miss it completely, now you've lost more pins.
See, that's what I do too.
And it could come down to winning the match or losing the match by 1 pin. So if you go for that and you just completely bypass it, then you've got no chance. Oh, that's out of bounds.
That's out there.
That's out of bounds.
You know, and that's a tough spare, but it's makeable.
This is makeable, yes. Now, see, that one he kept right there. That's better.
That's nice.
That's better. And now he's keeping it right where it needs to be.
Yeah, that looked like it went high flush to me.
Yeah.
And that's what you want to do.
Now for this, she needs to move right a little bit, just to shoot this spare.
Looks good. Oh. Got down there to the dry and just ran away from her.
And let's not forget, this is the semifinals right now, semi-final match. We will be moving on to the final match afterwards. Again, these kids are doing really, really well. They had a 5-game qualifying, moving across pairs. It wasn't easy. Definitely tough. See, he's same move again. So he's got to move left. He's in the wrong zone with his feet. And this is where he's trapped himself. And once again, let's bring up our sponsors real quick. Let's not forget about Kuwik Bowling for your shirts and jerseys. Use code LVYBT10 for 10% off. And Storm Products, Storm Bowling, thank you for all you do for us. Yeah, see, that's... I'm telling
Pure
you
frustration.
That frustration, shaking of the head and the eyes and rolling of them, it's been consistent all day. Good spare.
Nice spare.
And that's, you know what, me honestly, I don't like shooting plastic at that type of spare because it's very choppable.
Right. If I'm throwing at the 1, 2, 3, or, you know, if one of those 3 pins is in the spare,
right,
I'm using my strike ball.
Yeah. Now, Jason needs to make this to stay in this match. He can give it away right here.
There, he's got it.
Oh.
Nice spare.
Yeah, he could have gave that away.
Yeah, very easily.
And don't forget to like and subscribe to LVYBT.
You can find LVYBT on Facebook, Instagram, and, of course, the YouTube channel.
And also, don't forget, we will be back again for Good Friday, April 15th, 16th. Check-in 10 a.m. Bowling starts at 11. And this is going to be at Sunset Station. Local pro shop there, Bowler's Mart. Todd Adams will be there. We also looking for fundraiser help for May 22nd. Lane sponsorships of $250. If you're interested, go to lvybtfundraising@gmail.com. Remember now, this is all about the youth bowling. We are growing and growing and growing youth bowling. There, it got a little better.
You know, Vince, we hear all the time that the youth is the future of our sport.
Right.
That is very, very true, because if we don't train up these athletes in our sport, it's going to go away.
Yeah.
And I think people don't realize how serious these young athletes are. It's not just kids out here rolling a ball. These are athletes.
Yeah.
They put in the work and the time.
And they do. They put in work. We got them bowling leagues. We got them bowling clinics.
Tournaments.
Tournaments a lot.
Yeah, and
Oh, out of bounds. See ya.
the growth in their game is phenomenal.
Yeah, it is.
So I would recommend to other bowlers and parents that have children that maybe are looking for a sport for their kids to get involved in, come out to one of the LVYBT events and check out what's going on, because you'd be really surprised at how much fun these kids are having and how much work goes into and how serious and competitive they are.
Right.
And they earn scholarship money.
Yeah, all going to their smart account. All right, so in our semifinal match between junior varsity, Tristan Dalton moves on with the win with 187 to Nick Anderson's 164. Now down here in the varsity, this one, let's see. Jason Bardol was 155 with the strike. He maxed out 185. Okay, it looks like Jason's going to move on the way he's shooting right now. He's got her in wood. Max, she can go as 167.
And I like these young people's drive. They don't give up.
No, they don't.
Doesn't matter how far they are behind. They're giving it 100% every single shot.
And that's no matter how big the frustration is. They give it their all. Oh, that one really checked up. All right.
It's 184, looks like,
Yeah.
for Jason. And 156 for Kelcey. It's a
All
good
right.
match.
So we're going to be having up the finals coming up here in just a few minutes. And we're going to recap again. So the winner of our semifinal match is Tristan Dalton with the 187 victory over Nick Anderson, 164. In our varsity, we have Jason Bardol with the 184 victory over Kelcey Aczon with a 156.
So in the final match, we're going to have Jason coming up against Sebastian Huffman. Is that correct?
Yeah. And once again, our sponsor is Coolwick, coolwick.com for your jerseys. Use code LVYBT10. Yeah, I did that better than I did yesterday. And Storm Bowling, the Bowlers Company.
Second call, Brady.
And JV division will have Tristan coming up against Gavin Fernandez.
Yeah. So, Sherri, tell me a little bit about what you're trying to do here. Now, I know you have a thing that you do as well for adults.
Yeah, we do. It's Balls and Babes Bowling Incorporated. We're a non-profit amateur sporting organization that's focused on promoting and growing the sport of bowling. We do that through education, running tournaments to give people the opportunity to compete.
Right.
And it's just really a good time. What I found is oftentimes people don't really know enough to take their game from one level to the next.
Right.
So if you put some tools in their hands, whether it's an educational video or even just a conversation or meeting up with them at the bowling alley to show them some stuff, it's amazing how much their interest grows and how much better they get really quickly. And they get their friends involved because now they're having a better time.
Right. I've noticed that there's also bowlers from other states that are now clicking in and wanting to join, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I started balls and babes, as you know, in September 2020.
Right.
And I started with just a little Facebook group, and I thought, we wanted to run some tournaments. So I planned a trios tournament for Thanksgiving weekend. I thought, if I get 20 people to show up, I'd be happy. We ended up having 23 teams, so over 60 bowlers, which was great. And it's just grown and grown, got bigger and bigger. We've added some scratch tournaments that have done really well. We've had the least number of scratch we've had was 89, and that was in February when there were 2 PBA events going on in town at the same time.
Right.
So that wasn't bad. But the most we had was 116, which is huge for scratch.
Yeah.
And when we have singles events, we always open that up for the youth bowlers as well, because the more they bowl and compete, the better they're going to get.
All right. Looks like we're about to get started here with the finals. And we are back live. Santa Fe Station, Las Vegas, Nevada. Wonderful weather we're having outside because where I'm inside, we don't have no idea yet. In our junior varsity match, we have Gavin Fernandez versus Nick Anderson. And in our varsity, we have Sebastian Huffman. Let me say that again. Sebastian Huffman versus Jason Bardol.
These are going to be 2 really good matches.
Yeah, because now you're going to have 2 lefties and 2 righties.
Right.
So we're going to see how the lefties tend to break things down a little bit if they can.
It's going to be fun to watch.
Talking with Gavin earlier, he said he found this pattern to be pretty easy. He played right into his game, which he liked. And he does like to play outside like that, and works really well for him. A little slower ball speed with a higher rev rate, so it works out.
Right, and this is really cool to me, maybe not to other people, but it is to me. He's 12 years old, and his personal best high game is 277. I've never shot 277, and I'm 57 years old.
Right. And Gavin Fernandez's favorite bowler, Wesley Lowe. And you can't go wrong being left-handed using Wesley Lowe as a favorite bowler.
That's right. You can't go wrong being a right-hander using Wesley Lowe.
Absolutely. Now, Sebastian, being only 14 years old, actually is one of the top right-handers here in town. A wonderful kid, working on a big part of his game right now. Definitely see him going pro in his future.
Absolutely. He's got college aspirations to go to, of course, Wichita State or St. Ambrose.
Ah.
So big bowling schools.
Oh, nice shot. Now, you see, Gavin's actually outside, which works for a lefty, which is really strange. Whereas Tristan here, he's keeping it in front of him a little better. Oh, bad break. Bad break. Now, Jason, you'll see, is definitely higher speed, higher rev rate. Down the back just a touch, better shot, much better shot. And again, this is something I tell these kids all the time. And like, look, you don't have to throw at level 10 every single time. Dial it back.
Sometimes level 10's not good.
Right. And that's where a lot of the mistakes happen is they feel it's always got to be about power. Got to throw it hard, got to throw it hard. No, you don't.
Right.
I mean, it's like I was talking with Jerry Johnson yesterday. Jason Belmonte was in one tournament, and he was throwing the ball about 18, 19 miles an hour. The very next tournament he was in, he was dialed back to about 16 and a half, 17. That's important. You got to be able to have that touch.
Right. And that's hard for two-handers to do sometimes.
Yeah, and, once you get to that point, you can do it. It's fantastic to see it.
That's like all the different things Norm Duke can do just with his hand
Right.
to shape the ball differently to get the reaction that he wants.
Right, and this is something Sebastian's able to do. He does very well.
Absolutely.
Keep it in front of him. You see that? Right there.
That's
Not
why
gonna
he
go
has
outside.
a couple
Yeah.
of eagles already.
Right, but you see, he has moved inside deeper. He's playing what most of us would call a fallback shot.
Right.
It just kind of just falls right back into that little pocket there. It doesn't go outside of 10. Not going to get there.
There's some mountaineers watching.
Oh,
There's some mountaineers.
nice.
Say hi to home. You can say hi to home.
Oh. Hey, all of you West Virginia people.
Uh-oh.
I tease Ben and Sebastian all the time. They're my West Virginia homies. So, all you Mountaineers watching, thank you. We appreciate y'all.
All right, Tristan's starting to get a little confidence back. He's seen some spares. It is very frustrating. You throw a ball out thinking, no, that's going to come back, and it's got no chance.
None whatsoever.
Oh, tough break. I thought he had that.
Yeah. And you see that high backswing? that
Yeah, and you know
Sebastian has?
what? See, that's a funny thing. You talk about backswing. A lot of people think you need to keep it at a certain level. Let it be a natural, not that you're trying to pull it
Absolutely.
to a height. Let it naturally be where it's at. So long as your arm on the way down gets to the flat spot correctly, you're good.
Right. If I let my backswing get just a little bit high, I'm done. That
Ooh.
ball's going left. Ugh.
Looked like he kind of lifted up and out of that one. Didn't really get it off his hand clean.
Here's a cool
That
thing.
looks like a chop. Oh, he got away with it.
Nice. Here's a cool thing about Sebastian. He's 14, and he's been bowling half his life.
Yeah.
Said he started bowling when he was 7.
In which, honestly, last year looked like his height was 7 years old, and then now look at him. He's
Yeah, he
stretched
shot
like a
up.
weed.
I told him earlier that his voice, with his voice change, he's got a deeper voice than his
Nice
daddy
shot.
does.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but it's just fun for me to watch these kids and see them grow.
Yeah, it is. Oh, big mistake. And once again, being here in this finals match, you can't afford mistakes like that. This is very important to keep everything in front of you. You saw his shoulders facing to the right.
Right.
Where'd the ball go? Right to the right.
Mr. White tells me all the time that I need to be the dog wagging the tail instead of letting the tail wag the dog with my
Right.
arm swing. Because where your arm
Good shot.
goes is truly where your ball goes.
Yep.
And we saw that with that shot from Tristan just then.
Yep. Let's see if he's. Nope. Goes. Decide to go back out there. And again, there's that look that I keep talking about.
That frustration.
It's a frustrated look. And now that frustrated look continues with your mindset on the next ball, on the next frame. And you can't take it with you. You got to let that frame go.
Right. Kelcey and I were talking about that just after the qualifying.
Right.
And I told her what I do is I put myself in timeout
Yeah.
and just separate myself from the settee area a little bit so that I can just clear my mind and get my focus back.
Oh. Speaking of focus, let's just bring up our sponsors once again. Coolwick.com. Coolwick for all your jersey needs. Use code LVYBT10 for saving 10% at checkout. And of course, let's not forget Storm Bowling. Thank you for all of your support to our youth bowlers. Sebastian going straight at it.
Nice spare.
So looking at our scores right now in our JV match in the finals here, we got Gavin working on a strike, 36 in the third. Meanwhile, Tristan's struggling to find what he's doing wrong, and he's sitting with 44 working on back-to-back opens. And again, it's all your mindset. You throw a bad shot, you gotta let it go.
Absolutely.
And it's tough. You do it in league all day long. You throw a bad shot, and you're just dwelling on it. Oh, look at that. Somebody tipped the lane man for that. He reached out and knocked that one over.
Yeah, they're going to have to reset
didn't I
that
just
10
say
pin
that?
on there. Yeah.
Nice shot.
Nice ball.
You know, and it's funny. When we teach the kids, we tell everybody, hold your balance, hold your balance, hold your balance. And he walked that one out. Now, we're all going to do that from time to time. You throw a good shot, you're going to run that out. It's just a force of habit.
Right.
But typically, you want to hold your balance. Watch your shot.
Yeah, you want to post your shot
Right.
until your ball goes through the pins.
Through the pins, off the deck. Watch your ball. Your bowling ball is telling you something. Every time you throw it down the lane, it's up to you to listen what's going on.
Right. And when you post your shot and watch it go through the pins, you can see how that ball is going through. You can tell if it's deflecting or if it's driving through the 8-9.
Correct.
And know what, if any, adjustments you need to make off of that.
Right, and that's why we not only we're preaching it for a reason. You have the best view of everybody.
Absolutely.
So stay there and watch it. Once you let go of the ball, you are now a spectator. So stay there and spectate. Watch it. Nice shot, Jason. That was a good one. Working on a double.
That looks good. Nope. Checked up on him.
Now you see, we got 3 two-handers in this finals match. Sebastian Huffman, the only one using his thumb in. Oh, he's staying out there. He's expecting it to hook back, and it's not going to hook back from there.
We've watched it all throughout these matches. That if you get it out there just a little bit, it's hung.
It will not recover outside of 10.
Not at all.
Now it's going to go left. Oh, he got it.
There you go. It held just long enough. And, you know, people talk about urethane and the carry down it creates and stuff like that. These high-speed, high-rev players can create that same effect.
Right.
And the advantage that Sebastian has.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
Wow. That 9-pin slid over.
Sure did.
Good shot. Like that. That was impressive. Too bad I can't do replays yet. That would be awesome.
Wouldn't it?
That would be awesome. Nice shot.
But as I was saying, the advantage Sebastian has is he's got almost as much speed and revs as these two-handers do.
Yeah, and he's got that yo-yo release that it's
that
almost
we all
impossible
want.
to teach. It's really hard to teach.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see if Tristan has figured it out yet. Yeah, it looked better.
That looks better.
Okay, all right.
Right.
Build
That's
off
a
of that.
5-pin.
Build off of that. 2 boards left at your feet. Same spot, you'll be okay. He liked it off his hand. You saw that hand go up.
Yeah.
See that hand go up. You know, bowlers, we all have this little telltale sign. When we throw a shot, you just know it. You do something. And Gavin's left hand up and out.
That was a pretty shot. Oh.
Yeah, let's get some highlights in there. Let's see if we can show a little bit of action from earlier. There's Gavin Fernandez. Jason from earlier. This is during qualifying.
Nice.
It's a young man that made it to the semifinals yesterday. And there's Kelcey. Nick Anderson from earlier. Soft, easy release. He's just going to grow even more. He's really going to be moving somewhere. And here's Tristan from earlier as well. See how you kept that one inside? Yep, right there. All right, so Jason had a little setback there with the little split. Kind of hurt him. Still got a comfortable lead, but Sebastian is the type of kid that can come back in a heartbeat. You run off a string before you even know what happened. All right, Tristan, come on. Keep it in front of you. Don't go too far wide. Out. See you later. And again, where was his shoulders facing? To the right. Oh, there's that hand. He liked it, but it just floated it out.
Yeah, he got it a little too wide.
So, Sherri, when you throw a shot, when you just feel it, you peer it, what's your little thing that you do, your little telltale sign that to you, that felt good?
You know, I don't really know. I don't think I have one. I probably do, but I don't know.
I know mine. Mine is, I do the same thing like Gavin. My right hand comes out and I kind of drop my right knee a little bit, you know, like, oh, yeah, that's right there.
I think I'm always in disbelief.
Right.
And I don't want to do anything, and then it didn't work out.
Right. That was a better shot. Fade back. Right. Ooh, tough break.
That's just unfortunate.
Well, see, now, if you were to really see what was going on, that ball deflected, went towards a 9.
Right.
10 pin.
And that's what I was saying earlier about posting your shot
right.
and watching your ball go through the pins.
Right.
Because that was just a bad entry angle
yeah.
that creates that deflection.
Yeah, in fact, yeah. All right, still going on in our finals match, junior varsity. Tristan's struggling a lot. Gavin Fernandez, he's ahead, but he's still fighting it himself.
Yeah, it's not as far ahead as you would think.
Right.
With Tristan struggling. Oh. With the 4-6.
Yeah.
If this was league night, I'd tell Gavin that Mr. White would give him $2 if he picked that up.
Heck yeah.
I only bet with his money, not mine.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, that's outside.
You know, that could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, and even though I got blocked in my view, just the angle of it, you could see it was to the right.
It was.
All right, now Jason needs us to keep a very strong lead. Good
Looks
shot.
Good.
Oh, 5-7 left-handed? Yeah, I believe that too,
That's
Sebastian.
unfortunate.
You see Sebastian turn around and go like, really?
Right.
Yeah, I believe that too.
That's the look Mr. White gets on his face if I get a strike.
Yep, and that brings up a good time to bring up our sponsors one more time. Let's talk about Cool Wick. CoolWick.com for all your jersey needs. Please use code LVYBT10 at checkout, and also Storm, the Bowlers Company. Thank you, Storm. I also like to send a shout out to Phil Placco, Dave Allen, Sebastian Huffman, Michael Ruiz for all you do here. Yeah, I know this guy right here.
And Benjamin Huffman.
Also, I'd like to thank Kathy McCloskey for all she does here for the youth bowlers. It's huge. It's a lot what goes on here. if you were to come here Saturday mornings, the entire house is junior bowlers.
Let's talk about Kathy for a second. Our first place winners today in both divisions will receive $300 in their Smart Fund for scholarship. The second place winners in both divisions get $200. All of that money, that's $1,000, was donated by Kathy
That's awesome.
and Santa Fe.
All right, so it looks like we have a victory handshake there. Gavin Fernandez is going to win this match. And again, on a very tough pattern, bowling
shot.
on Eiffel Tower. Tristan did very well, but he struggled trying to find some things, and he's definitely going to feel this for a while, trying to figure out what he did.
Now, I think he just had a couple of bad shots early on and just couldn't get past them.
Yeah, and again, he kept getting it outside, thinking that's going to come back. It just is not going to make it.
You know, we all do that sometimes, Vince.
Yeah,
it just
and
gets
on
in
league
our
pattern,
head,
yeah.
and we're just lost.
All right, so our junior varsity victor is
Gavin Fernandez.
Gavin Fernandez.
59.
159 to a 95. Meanwhile, here in our varsity match, this is still close.
And that JV match was a little closer until Gavin just punched it out
Yeah.
in the end.
Yeah. And that's the way you close it out. When you see your opponent struggle, yeah, you put your foot down.
That's exactly right. Pedal to the metal.
That's right. Now let's see now myself, Jason, I would have waited. I would have waited just to see if you can put that pressure on and make him wait.
Right. See what I needed.
Yeah. So right now I can go 171. The only thing that hurts Jason is a bad break right now.
And that looks good.
That was almost it. That could have been an ugly split.
It sure could have, because it checked up and almost went through the nose.
Yeah. And it looks like Sebastian finishes 171. Jason Bardol's going to win this. Inwood sitting on the bench. Oh, my goodness.
That was close. That one
Somebody
scared
check
me.
that ball for illegal grips. I think there's a grip sticking out because
Right.
that ball did not have a chance.
If he strikes here, he'll finish for the 183. 182.
182. So congratulations to JV winner Gavin Fernandez and our varsity winner Jason Bardol II with a 182 victory over to Sebastian Huffman 172. Sherri, I'd like to thank you for joining me in today. It was fantastic. And also let's not again forget Coolwick, LVYBT 10, Storm Bowling, our bowler supply company. We will return soon. Don't forget, we are going to be back on Good Friday over at Sunset Station. Check-in time is going to be 10 a.m., bowling 11 a.m. on the 15th and the 16th of April.
And fundraiser on May 2nd?
May 22nd.
May 22nd, excuse me.
Yep.
And thank you for having me, Vince. It's been a great time.
All right. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you again. Thank you. Have a good